Okay. So we have covered these things. So what is module? What are the two different types of modules? How to import modules? We have seen different kind of modules like math module, random module, and then datetime. With datetime, we did some practice. And then how to create our own module that we have discussed. And then what is package? How to import package. So these are the things that we covered in the last class. And after that, we did two lab problems in lab of the module. So first one, find the date of the given number of days. And the second problem is calculate the age from birthday. So did you figure it out? What is the issue with the first problem? Did you figure it out? Okay, here is the solution. First import data, and then in the object we are creating data module, and then that we are importing that object. From that we are going to import today module. So what will be the output of this? It will just give today's date. That's it. And then in birthdays, this variable, we are getting the number of days as an integer. And then to calculate the new date, we are creating another variable and name it as future date. So from today, which will be received here, right? So through this module, we are calling the today function, the value will be saved in the today variable. And then in addition to that, we are going to use the time delta function, which will calculate the difference between 2 days. So the time delta function, we are passing the number of days that we want to calculate. Okay, so this will give you the date with the number of days. So if you say 15 days from here, if you use time delta function, then you can find out the date 15 days from here. So if you try to print this variable, it will give you the date after. So the time delta function will help you to find out the day difference. So you have to pass the number of days as a value. Then you will get the current date. So just fix the bug and then you should be able to get the result. How many of you got it done? So those who completed this problem 1 and problem 2, go to your folio. If you go to your folio, you can find a Word document attached to lab 6. So go to lab 6 in your folio and download the Word document that has the questions for lab 6. Go to problem number 3 that we are going to solve now. You have to calculate the days until your birthday. So I had to do that thing. I asked you to think about that problem. Can you please answer how many of you finished this problem number 1? Are you ready for problem number 3? So please download the Word documentation. Go to homepage of the folio and go to the current module that we are working on and go download lab 6. You can go to this Dropbox and there you can find this documentation with lab 6 problem. So please download it. So can you read problem number 3 just to make sure you're there, the same page? I can read it, but I just want to check. What do you see? What is the problem number 3 in lab 6? Until your birthday. That is the question. And you can see the output should look like this. When it's your birthday, you have to enter the year, the month, and the birthday, then it should calculate the time, that is number of the days for birthday. So this should be the output. Okay, then you can reuse your current program, and you can just can reuse the modules. So do you think we need all these modules for this problem as well? If you think, copy that. Copy all those modules because it is similar problem. Instead of age, you're calculating the number of days until birthday. And do you think do you need to have today to find out number of days? Of course, we need to have that. So let's copy that code. We need this variable. And then do you think we need to provide a birthday, right? So that should be the user input. So without any change, we can simply reuse the code that we have written for age calculation. So simply copy the user birthday function that we have defined in problem number 2 to get the year, month, and day of the birthday. And that is saved in 3 variables. Okay, and then we are passing this to date time. So what is this date time module will do? If you recall, what did we use it for? It will get anything and return it. Go to problem number 1. What this date time module will do? It will return anything as a, no, not in the module. So we have discussed it in the tutorial. So what this will do, the date time module, it will simply convert that into a date format. Simply it will convert anything into a date format. Okay, that is the use. So now we are just passing these input that is entered by the user to this date time module. So the integers, different integers will now be considered as a date format. Will now be considered as date format. That is the use of this date time function, which we import from date time module. Can you tell me what is this and what is this? From date time, import date time. You have the oral quiz. Your exam 1, I'm just going to simply pick the questions from the things that we have covered in the lecture, in the participation activity, whatever. And whatever you have reviewed, whatever we have reviewed, the questions will be from that. So I discussed this in the lecture part. Can you tell me what is this date time? This is the base thing. This is the first thing that I covered. Can you tell me what is this and what is this? From date time, import date time, which is module and which is function. Yes, this one is a function and this one is the module. Very good. So you can see this date time is the function which we have imported from this module date time. So which will convert the input into date format. Very good. So next what we are going to do, we don't need this age. We have to redefine this function so that it will calculate the birthday. Okay, that means calculate the number of days for the birthday. So here is the question. Today is March 10. So if you ask it in literal way, like if, for example, if the birthday is April 10, then what you will say, the number of days will be, today is March 10. If the birthday is April 10, what you will say? 30 days. If the birthday is February 10, then how will you calculate? How will you calculate the number of days until your birthday? If the birthday is February 10, how will you literally calculate? Year. You will include an year, right? So that is what we are going to do. If the birthday, current day, the birthday is less than the current day, then it already passed. So what we have to do? We have to add a year. That's what we are going to do in this function. So let's calculate. Let's create a function to do this task. Def calculate dates. And what we have to pass for this birthday? Do we need to pass today? Because we can use module to do that, right? It will help you to calculate today. From date library, which we have imported. This date, yeah. So that you have a function called from time stamp. From timestamp function, which is part of this is from module date. So this function, date function. From datetime library, there is a function called date function. Inside that function, there is a sub function called from timestamp. There you are going to calculate B day. You're passing that B day. Where is B day? We are going to pass it when we call the function. Okay. So that will calculate today. And time to birthday is going to be, okay. Maybe I will just keep it. Sorry. Today is time start birthday. Okay. Not today, birthday. Okay. So the function is going to be time from time library. We have imported the time module as well. In that time module, there is a function called time function. So this will help us to calculate today. Exactly from the timestamp. Timestamp is a thing that general time calculation, whatever language we use, there is a general calculation of time using this timestamp function. You can see this in any language, whether you're using PHP, C++. This is the generic format for time calculation. A day is going to be this date function. We are going to pass today dot year. So which will be here, which will be saved here. This today will have today's date. And we should be able to rip up the year and then month and then day. So now we have to see whether the current birthday is less than today. How can we do that? Simply you can check whether the birthday is less than today. If it is so, then what you can do, you can use the replace function. You can use the replace function to update it. What you have to update, can you finish this? If it is less than, very good. Very good. Today dot year plus 1, because next year when the birthday is already done, you have to calculate the next year. Then return birthday. Yes. If it is not yet done, then what will be there here? Yeah. Return birthday. So the date is, we will not say birthday dot year, right? Right? Does it make sense? Birthday dot month, we will consider the month and day, but the year will be current year, right? That's our birthday, right? Okay. Now we are going to create we just define the function. When it will be active? When it will be active? When we will call it. Call it, right? Yeah, call it. Now, what will happen after this function? The ID will get the day from the user. Agree? Because that's what they are in the function. And then we're going to create another variable. And through that, we are going to call which function? Calculate dates. And what we have to pass? Check what needs to be passed for the calculate function. Birthday. And where is that? Where we have saved it? In BD. That needs to be passed here. That should be passed here. Got it? So pass it. Okay, now time to birthday. That is very simple. Absolute value of, okay, so here is the thing. It is April 10 is your birthday means time to birthday. How will you calculate literally? March 10 minus, sorry, April 10 minus March 10, right? So what is April 10? Where it will be the April 10? Where is that April 10? Where is the birthday April 10? Where it is saved? So here, right? Calculated here, T. And then today, what is today? That will be here, today. Do you think this will actually, since we have everything in the date format already, that actually give you the number of days? So now we have it in a string input format. Now we are going to convert it into string format, right? So this is an object. It is simply an object. So we are going to convert this object because it will have the time to birthday, and then that we are going to call the function called days function. It is simply an object. So where you have derived it, it holds all the property of date and time, date time library. So when you call this object and apply this days function on it, then it will help you to get the days, number of days. So days is the function. And how we want our output, we want our output like time to birthday is it will be saved here in the days variable. So it has so when I give 01, then it obviously less than the current date, right? So what it will pick? It will pick the next year, that is 2000. Today will have the current date. From that current year, it will increase 1 year. So it will consider 2023. That will be written. Where? That will be written here. Okay. And then this will calculate number of days. And that will be calculated by using the days function here. Okay. So this is how you will calculate number of days until your birthday. How many of you got it done? Any of you need any help? Those who completed it, go read problem number 4. Any of you're done? Good. Morgan, you need any help? I didn't hear it. Sorry. Let me know if you need help. You want me to wait to go to next problem? Yes, you can take. Or if you want help, I can help you. Are you good? Yeah. Okay. So now let's move on to problem number 4. Can anyone read problem number 4 to make sure you are there? Are you there? Do you have this document? Can you read it? Okay. Are you familiar with the random library? Have you used it before? How can you input? So if we need to write our own function, it is a big deal. You are already familiar with random library. In data programming 1, you have used it multiple times, right? So we are going to import that random library now. Can you give me the code for that statement to import random library? It's a direct question. Import random, very good. So that if you read the question, we have to calculate a random integer, random floating point, and random string. Okay, so let's use a loop. Okay, for I in range function. Do you remember the range function? Right? Range function. So we are saying that just randomly pick a random number 5 times. We are doing it by using range function. Now we want to print it. Can you tell me what function will help you to pick it? So simply, if you want to pick a random integer, you have a function called randint. If you want to pick a random floating point number, then the function that you will use for that, any of you remember it? Random, not randfloat. It is simply random, okay? So if from the random library, you're going to use random function, which will give you the random floating point number. Can anyone finish this code? How can you call a module? You know the function name and you know the module name. Complete it. You're going to call the random function from the random module. Can you complete it? Just simply say, or else I will help you to figure it out. Any idea? You don't know? I'm asking from the random module, you're going to import random function, right? We have done a lot of problems with that. From the random module, we are importing random function. What is the code? Random is the module and random is the function. Random is the module and random is the function. And then we need 5. This one will give you 5 floating point number, which is picked randomly in 5 loops. Can you complete how to do it to pick 10 integers? Can you complete a code to pick 10 integers? If this is hard, then it seems like, yeah, you have to do, yeah, yes, tell me. Complete it. 10 integers. Pick random 10 integers. Can you complete it now? I told you rand int is the function which will help you to pick random integers. Can you complete it now? Random dot rand int. And you can even mention, if you recall, we have used it in data programming 1. Can you specify that you want an integer between two specific numbers? How can you do that? You can simply pass those two values here. So it will pick that 10 values between the 100 and 200. We have done all these things in data programming 1. And then how to select a string randomly. For example, let's create a string list. You prefer or you don't prefer? Okay. I will just specify the students who are here. Okay. Tell me, are you familiar with picking a number, picking a string variable? For picking the integer, you will use randint function. To pick a string, are you familiar with that or you don't remember it? Yes, choice is the function. Choice is the function. You have to pass the variables. It picks. Michael. Every time it picks. Why? Yeah, it works. Right? Which function will help you to pick random values from string? Choice. How many of you got it done? That is problem number 4. Now we're going to do problem number 5. Those who are done, read problem number 5. Can you read if you're done? Okay. See, for this, you cannot use Jupyter Notebook. You have to use any other IDE because you're going to create a file and then you're going to call it. So go to, I hope all of you have Visual Studio Code in your system. So go to, let me create a new temporary. Just create a temporary location. That, go to Visual Studio Code. Create a new file. Select a language. Python. And first, we are going to create our own module. Can you tell me a step? First step, what we have to do? You have to create a file with .py extension. You have to create a file. So here for the conversion, we are going to create a module. Okay. And we are going to name that module as converter. So you have to simply save that file, what you're going to use right now, as converter. I'm just creating a file and name it as converter.py. Okay, now you have the converter.py file and this is your module. You are going to call this like how you will call math, how you will call random like that. you're going to call this function. In this function, you're going to write the definition function to convert the LB to kg and kg to LB. Any of you know the formula to convert LB to kg? It doesn't need to have anything. A module simply can have variable and function. Okay? Or it doesn't need to have a variable, simply can have or simply can have variable, or it can have both. It totally depends. So in this particular function, we don't need a variable. We are going to create a function. So first function will convert the LB to kg. You have one problem in your exam based on the module creation. Okay, so please focus. I need to say this, then only I'm getting the focus. So you have one problem based on the module creation. So please give your attention. Definition of the module, and we are passing weight as a variable. And this convert the given weightage, whatever it is entered, that will be converted into LB to kg. So the assumption is the entered weight is LB, that is going to be converted to kg. So to convert the LB to kg, the formula is whatever the weight, it doesn't care whether you, what do you think, whatever you convert, that will convert it into that number into the weightage of kg. So for that, the formula is multiply that with 0.45, anything. That will be the weight in kg. And can you tell me what is weight in LB? From if you enter the value in kg to convert it into LB, can anyone tell me? Very simple, right? Can you complete the code? Written what? Written question. Save this file. Already we have saved this as converter.py. Now we can call this function from anywhere. So now we are going to create one more file that we are going to call this converter file from that main file. Are you done with module creation? Now create a file. So we have the converter file as a module. How will you import a module normally? Import. What is our module name now? Very simple. We're just going to import that converter here, which we have just created. And even in that, we're simply going to call this LB to kg. And vice from the converter, from that module, import function LB as 2 kg. This is how you will import a function from a module. Okay, first let's write a code to get the weight in kg. So we will get it from the user. So whatever the value entered by the user will be in string, and we will convert it into integer. If you have given the weight in kg for this, then obviously we will call what? Converter dot. What do we need now? If the weight is in kg, what do we need to call now? Kg to lbs. Total thing is informatic. Same thing you can do for LB to kg conversion. So create a variable to hold the LB. And just give the prompting for LB. And then after the conversion, we are going to convert that from LBs to kg. And that will be, we're passing that input value. Since we have imported this library here, automatically it will let us to call this function since we have imported the library. And you have to save this file as a Python file. So I'm simply saving as. Since it is as Python file, it should be okay. Sorry, not printf. And now, which one we have to run? App or converter? Which one we have to run? Are you running the built-in modules? You run your own program where you're importing, right? So you have to run this app.py. If you run it, it will ask enter the weight in kg. So if you enter the weight in kg as 60, then it will say the pound. And obviously next it will ask enter the weight in pounds. Then it can convert it into kg. So this is how we work with module. Now I'm saying you have one problem in your exam 2 that is based on module creation. You have to create a module and you have to call the module in other function. So if you don't understand this problem, let me know. I will explain it again. You are creating a module and name it as converter.py and then importing it. Okay, you simply can convert. You don't need that second line because anyway you're calling it here. Since you're calling the function here, you don't need to do it from converter input because you're doing it here. So you can take off that second line for import. Without that, it should work. So this is how you will create a module, your own module. This is how they have created thousands of modules for Python. The developer has created thousands of modules that we can simply use in different applications. This is how that is done. Yes. You can do the module creation and package creation only in Visual Studio Code. You cannot use Jupyter Notebook for that. Yes. It's up to you. You can, yeah. So because two problems or one problem is going to be from module. So it's up to you. You can use Visual Studio Code for all the problems. The next question, next problem, if you read, build a package called e-commerce and build a module called shipping with some user-defined function. Try to use those functions by importing the module from the package. So if you recall, I covered package in the introduction section last class. So now we are going to create a package. Any of you remember how to create a package? First step will be, any of you remember and took notes? First step to create a package is create a folder. The second step is create a __init__ Python file. That Python file creates, and that is an empty file, but you have to name it as __init__.py. That will create this as that folder as a package. And then inside that, you can create a module like how we did the module here. And then you can create your main file. From that, you can call that module from that package. How many of you are done with this problem number 5? So we are going to create problem number 6. So first thing, create a folder, right? Are you ready? Checking. How many of you are ready? Create a package. First, create a folder. And what should be the name of the folder? What should be the name of the folder? E-commerce. That's what I have given. Did I give the instruction in the question? Did I? E-commerce is the package name, means that should be the folder name. The reason why I'm asking this question is to make sure that you understood that the package name should be the folder name. To make you to understand that, I'm just asking this question. And then you have to build a module called shipping with some user-defined function. Can you tell me, after creating the package, what we have to do? Init file, right? Create a init empty file. Go to the folder and then just save that file. It should be the empty file, but make sure it is there inside that folder. So in the modules, I have temp folder, and inside that e-commerce folder, I have to create, the name is very important. __init ___ Python file. How to create the package. Now open folder and go to the temp folder and go to the e-commerce. Do you see in that e-commerce folder, you have the init file. Now it is a package. If you click open folder, go to the folder which you have just created, that is e-commerce. Inside that, if you click this new file, inside that file itself, if you can create the init.py package. How many of you created that empty file? Now click that new file creation once again, and you have to name the module file that you're going to create. What is the name of, did I give any name module? Shipping. Just name it as shipping.py. So inside the shipping.py, what I just want to use some user-defined functions. Okay, it's not going to do anything. The purpose of this problem is just to make you to understand how we can create package. Okay, so this is not going to do any particular job. Simply, we are going to define some functions for printing. So let's create a function called calculate shipping. Print what we calculate shipping is called. And define calculate package. Print something. It doesn't make any sense, but how the functions are called from the module which is there inside the package. That is the purpose of this practice. And then total. Okay, or print or customer calculate total. The cost or calculate cost. Print total. Print total is called. Simply some functions that we are going to check. How we are going to call this, okay, in a separate Python file. So we are going to name that file as shopping app. Okay, so let's create a new file and name that file as shopping app. So in that shopping app file, we are going to call the shipping function. Now, can you give me the code statement? How can you call the shipping function? Give me a minute. And where should we call this function? Give me a minute. Okay, so let's create that file from outside this file because it's not be in the same file. We have to create it outside the file. Let's try it in that way. So in temp, so we are going to create that file outside this e-commerce file. So what you have to do, just cut this shopping app and put it outside the package. It should not be inside the package. It should be outside this package. Now open it with Visual Studio Code. Okay, now let's import that shipping module, which is there in the package name. What is the package name? E-commerce. And what is the shipping function module? Shipping function. So from that, we are going to calculate, call the calculate shopping. So how can we do that? From e-commerce package, from the module shipping, and then we are going to calculate so the code for that is from e-commerce.shipping. Okay, and then import what? We are going to import this function, which is calculate shipping. And then from e-commerce dot shipping import. Do you remember what are the other functions we have? Call total. No. Let's call cost and print total. Call package and print total. Okay, let's call that. Where is that file? Call function. You can have all the import like this, or wherever you need, you can import. It's totally up to us. I'm just deleting this because this makes sense. So from the e-commerce package shipping module, we are calling the calls with that. There is 4 functions. There are 4 functions that we have defined. So we are calling 2 functions. So this is how we will do it. Save this and call this. You can see when you call it, you can see we didn't have anything. We simply say printing this and that is getting printed. Okay. So this one just help you to understand how package is working. So only thing you have to remember that you have to create a folder that should be the package name. And the second step is you have to create init function, which is the empty function. And the third thing you have to create the module inside that package. And the fourth thing is you have to create the main thing outside the package. Okay. And then you know how to call the function which is inside a module which is inside the package. So this practice will help you to understand how you can call a function which is there inside a module and a package. Here e-commerce is the package and shipping is the module and call shipping is the function. So this is how you can import it and this is how you can call it. This is how you are calling all the all the built-in functions from any kind of library. Now you know how to create your own. So, and for this practice, you have to take a screenshot of this result. How this shipping is called, calculate cost is called. I need the screenshot of this result for the problem number 6. And I need the screenshot of the weight conversion for problem number 5. And the other problems as usual in Jupyter Notebook. So there are 6 problems as part of lab 6 modules. So this is the end of lab 6 module. If you have any bug, I will help you to debug it. But before that, I'll give you the instructions because 2 students didn't attend the class. So I hope they will refer this video to recording. So I'll give you the instructions for the exam. So after the spring break, that next week is spring break. After the spring break, week 12, you have exam 2 from the topics object-oriented programming, inheritance, and module. Okay, as like exam 1, it has 2 sections. Section 1 is multiple choice and section 2 is practical. You will be given 3 problems, 1 from inheritance, 1 from module, and 1 from object-oriented programming that you have to solve, and then multiple choice questions from the 3 chapters. Okay, so you'll be given 1.5 hours to complete the exam. You can have handwritten notes with you for the exam. So I will pick the questions. I have covered everything from my lecture, from the participation activity of the Zyber, from the lab practice and homework. If you have verified all these things, you should be able to take the exam 2. You have to verify everything that I have given. I have shared all the material, all the lecture, whatever I have mentioned in the class during the lecture, you're supposed to take notes of that and you will have questions from the things that I have covered. So that is your exam 2 instructions. If you have any questions, you can ask. Yes.
The schedule on Folio says that exam 2 is not until April 5th. So I don't know if you moved that and didn't update it or.
Maybe it's not, they have mentioned it's tentative schedule. Okay. It's a tentative schedule in the sense now we have covered module. So it is not April 5. It is going to be, we have 3 more chapters to cover after that. Okay. So that's why I have mentioned schedules are tentative. So I don't know what you access. Maybe I'll go to Folio and check. You have exam 2 the week after next week. That is like after spring break, not only in this class, in all my classes, after spring break, 24th. Whatever it is, see, I have moved the regular expression as part of exam, the last exam. I'm not covering the regular expression. So you want to include regular expression as part of exam 2, right? No, if you want, then I can include, but I want to keep this separate, these 3 chapters, so that you can focus on these 3 chapters. Okay. Yes. So then regular expression will be moved on to next week. Okay. So instead of including regular expression, I want you to focus on these 3 concepts that I have covered. Not in recursion and all I have removed from the curriculum because these things I have added extra. So inheritance, class, and modules. These are the things that you have exam on that in week 11. Is this clear? Yes. Any question? Yes. Random?